Okay, so with this video we're going to talk about a couple different things. We are in the middle of grass fire season, and that's what prompted us to maybe talk a little bit about what our options are as far as respiratory protection. A quick reminder though, when we go to a grass fire, you're always going to dress for structural, and once you rule out structural then you can scale back, but when you're leaving the hall, always dress for structural. And again, whenever we're leaving the hall while we're in the midst of all this, N95 particulate mask is the minimum that you're going to leave the hall with. Anytime you leave the hall, you're going to be wearing your N95. Okay? So a couple of the different options that you have as far as respirator protection. This is a new one. These procedure masks have recently become available, and for now what we're going to say is, in order to save our N95 masks, and they are a little more comfortable, in order to save them at the hall and the fire hall only, we are going to be able to use these masks. Okay, and they're simple to use. This is what they look like when they come out of the bag. There's two ear loops, and you just have to stretch it apart like so, and then put it over your ears, and you can mold it a little bit. Thing to remember with this mask though is it does not seal. This does not give you, it doesn't achieve the same seal as an N95. The idea is though that if I'm wearing it, you're wearing it, we're both protected, because it should capture droplets that the user might put out. So at the fire hall only, we can use this procedure mask. Okay, but it is your choice. We have these packages set up with the N95, so we have your training mask. We've said you can use these 5 times, so keep track of that, how many times you've worn it. So at the fire hall, 4 times. It says that right on there, 4 times. At the fire hall, for training purposes or cleaning up after a call, either of these is appropriate, but as soon as you leave the hall, you are not going to wear this one. You have to wear this one. Okay? And the way the DC set that up for us, you have a response mask, and that should be brand new. I leave with it. It should be brand new out of the bag. Now you can use that for training once you come back, as long as you don't come in close contact with anybody, or if it's a medical call, throw it out like we would. But if it's just one of those, I go to an alarm and I come back and I didn't even get out of the truck, you could certainly use that 3 more times, but a fresh one should be put in your response one. So you're always putting a brand new one back in your response bag. Okay, some of the other masks that we have available to us, and again, always think of in terms of what your hazards are and do I need to scale up. So again, the minimum for right now, I'm wearing an N95. So that means if I'm going to a grass fire, I need to be wearing an N95, and that's for the duration of the fire. So at a grass fire where maybe I'm just in or around smoke that is from vegetation, grass, wood, and again, it's not that I'm standing in really thick smoke, it's kind of smoke here and there, the N95 is appropriate. Okay, bearing in mind though that it will take care of whatever is solid in the smoke, but it doesn't get rid of gases. So again, if you're at all worried that you're in a lot of smoke, then you should be scaling up to one of the other options. Okay, but kind of that, you know, I'm around the smoke, you know, definitely N95 you can use, that's the minimum. But those times where you need to scale up, we have some other options. There are these 3M half masks, and these are on a few of the trucks. These are in the respirator kit that's on Unit 209. So where we might use those is for sometimes if we're going to a sudden death, things like that, we will wear these. Regardless of any of these masks that I'm showing you though, they do not work in a oxygen deficient or where there might be CO. If it's oxygen deficient or there's CO present, you should be doing full SCBA. Okay, so this is just where there might be something in the air that I need to clean. Okay, so as soon as there's organics in the air, then you should scale up to this style respirator. It's got that olive green. Okay, again, for nuisance dust or you know, I'm in some smoke, not a lot of smoke, and again, only vegetation, this is all right as well. Okay, So those are on the different trucks. But it could be, again, you know, we're firefighters. Think about what you're doing and what your application is. I might be working with just vegetation, and we know what sometimes happens in a farmer's field. I'm just dealing with a little bit of grass, and then it moves into a tire pile, or it moves into an old tractor. As soon as that happens, you know you're going full SCBA. It's no different than anything else. Okay, so just make sure you remember that emergency scenes can often quickly change, and where I thought the N95 was all right, I need to scale up because now the hazards have changed. Okay, another option, so that's the 3Ms. We've got some different options. The other option we have is that you will use your full SCBA mask with this cartridge. Okay, so the advantage here is, and there is a difference, of course, it's just quarter turn click, just like your regulator. The advantage to this is you can get the organic vapor cartridges, but it also covers the mucous membranes of the eyes. So if you're doing, say, somewhere where I want to also make sure I'm not getting smoke or anything in my eyes, really thick smoke, then this is a better option than the 3M mask that doesn't have the eye protection. Okay, so that is one advantage of this. And these cartridges aren't interchangeable. They might have the same color coding for organic vapor, but you can't use the Scott one with the 3M. So you've got to make sure you're grabbing the right cartridges. Okay, I won't take those out just because they're sealed in the bag, but they are just a quarter turn click on here. These can't be sanitized. However, this can be cleaned. Just like the SCBA, you can use the Stanodyne on this to clean them just like your SCBA regulators. Okay, so again, the idea is we have lots of different options, but make sure you're applying the right respirator for the job. Okay? Good.